Soundstripe.
Hi, my name is Michelle Pearson. I'm a personal injury attorney with the Pearson Law Firm. I wanted to talk to you about sort of the framework of a potential claim that you might be involved in. In the area of the law that we're talking about, it's called tort law. And it's a long period of study for attorneys, and it's something that I now specialize in with my husband, Jerry, who's my partner here. So the first thing that you need to know when you have a potential claim is how we think about how we analyze a claim. So if you're coming into me, we're talking about liability, causation, and damages, the three sort of pillars of a tort claim. The first, liability, is important to distinguish from guilt. Okay, liability is where somebody has unintentionally harmed you. So if you think of, for instance, a car crash, somebody has failed to stop when they needed to, they've sped up when you were slowing down, and they've hit the back of your vehicle. So the first thing that we want to do is talk about liability, because without establishing who the negligent party is, we can't talk about whether or not you were harmed. We can't even go there. So this is the very first thing that has to be established, and it's established at the scene of the crash. And we can talk about that in another module. But the very first thing that you want to talk about is whether or not somebody is liable. Then and only then can you talk about whether or not it caused a problem for you. And the problem is going to be some sort of damages. There are two types of damages. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, so liability has to be established first. This is primo, right here, liability. Then you talk about causation. And even though causation on this illustration is prior to damages, we want to talk about damages to help us talk about causation. Damages are economic and non-economic. Economic damages are things that can be quantified and added up, okay? So you think about all these things like medical harm, wage loss, potential help with either childcare or taking care of your home or yard, those kinds of things. These are your damages, but you can't even get to this conversation with the insurance company until you can prove that this wrong act over here caused this problem. So causation often is where the argument is in cases. So it's important for you to kind of have an idea of how we think about the case, liability, causation, and damages, so that we can explain this to you when you come in and talk to us about what happened. Thanks.